as my sort of little bit of a bent to kind of go, well, what does the research say? And I did look up that 20-20-20 rule because it's a cute thing to say because of the American way of saying 20-20, which we call 6-6 sort of vision. And certainly, a 15 to 20 minute bit of work time with a micro break is shown to improve comfort. And a micro break is looking away and blinking. Now, the practicalities of whether you remember to do that or not is the next question. If you're in deep work, then half an hour, 40 minutes can blow by pretty quickly before, and you realize that you've missed that break. So I think it's much more practical to go into sort of half an hour, 45, or even an hour long break and take a decent 5 or 10 minute break away from the near work. That's been shown to be, again, positive for visual symptoms. And it's also a positive thing for your whole body. Physically getting up and moving around is a good thing. And it gives you a moment to do some proper considerations around what's happening with your tear film. And so I think we've discussed before, I had a patient invent a term called mindful blinking as we were describing some of the things that we like to do. And I've seen some people with some fairly pretty dry looking eyes where our only thing that we did to help manage it and to reverse what I was seeing on the front surface was get her doing decent blinks regularly through the day. And so that becomes that be mindful about how well you're blinking and how often you're blinking. So in those 5 or 10 minute breaks, you do, 10 to 12 good blinks. And a good blink is making sure that the eyelids come together. We're not talking about squeezing the eyes, but making sure that the eyelids actually come together, because that's the moment those oil glands are squeezed. And as the eyelid comes up, it spreads those nice oils across the tears. It also means that the eyelids are coming together and making sure the tear film is coating the entire front of the eye, because it tends to be that lower half of the eye that dries out. Because it's not only that we don't blink fully, is that we do these little half blinks. So during those breaks, we're making sure we get good 10 to 12 good blinks as part of that break, get up and moving around. So, I think 45 minutes is a good sort of trade-off between needing to get the work done and actually doing a proper job at having a break.
And that break doesn't mean turning away from your computer and looking at your iPhone.
Yes,
your iPhone either, does it?
Yeah, that's right. Moving from one device to another. Yeah, absolutely.
So you'd recommend actually getting up, moving around the office, getting outside if you can, or at least looking out the window if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the visual system, our whole being, our whole development as we're developing as kids, the vision is very much attached to moving through the world, and so that's a really important piece, is that we get up and move. We know it's part of the whole myopia story of people becoming more and more short-sighted, is they're not outside moving enough. And so on a more minor level, but probably just as chronic is the eye strain that they're getting from doing so much computer work and just the basic things of ocular discomfort.